Hi, we're at Aristocare of Cedar Oaks, and I have here
Sidney Greenberger, CEO.
Sidney. Can you tell me something about your background and what brought you here to Aristocare at Cedar Oaks?
Sure. We started Aristocare about 10 years ago with the acquisition of our first facility, but my involvement in the nursing home subacute care field began about 20 years ago when I started my work as a dietary aide at a nursing home out in Lakewood, New Jersey. And my career has kind of morphed from there to where we are today.
Well, that's terrific. And this facility, about how many people can you accommodate here?
We can accommodate 230 clients, 50 of which subacute short-term patients, which are patients that are primarily in their 50s or 60s and that are here for short-term rehabilitation for hip replacements, knee replacements, and get them in here, get them out quick.
And your various locations, do you cater to different sort of issues at these different locations, or is it all the same?
No, we actually have, depending on the area that we focus on, we have several programs. One of the most interesting programs that we have in two of our facilities is a cultural program. We have an Indian cultural program both at this facility, Cedar Oaks, and as well as at Alameda Center, which is in Perth Amboy. And we have a unit that's dedicated just to patients, American Indian, well, not American Native Indians, Indians
From India.
From India. And you walk on the floor and you feel like you're in New Delhi. We have food that caters specifically directly to them. The staff on the floor speak their language, and we believe that culture plays a big role, a huge role in the rehabilitation of the patient.
So they would be comfortable in the setting and they would be able to heal accordingly.
Yes, that is absolutely correct. With folks that are specifically attuned to their cultural needs. And interestingly enough, and I had said this several years ago, and I was interviewed by Sarah Lee Kessler, am I allowed to say that on this? Sarah Lee Kessler, that the idea of the cultural unit actually came about when my grandfather, my late grandfather, who was a Holocaust survivor, and when he was sick and he was in his 90s and he was in hospital and he was demented a little bit, and he lost his family in the gas chambers in Auschwitz, and he would speak Yiddish. He didn't speak English, and when I heard from the nurses that he was very combative whenever they wanted to wash him and bathe him. And I spoke to him in Yiddish, which they couldn't. And I said, "What's the problem? Why aren't you going to, why aren't you allowing them to take care of you?" And he says, "They're taking me to the showers." Okay, the showers for Holocaust survivors is a euphemism for the gas chambers. So in his mind, the showers is a gas chamber. So just call it something else. We're going to go take a bath. We're not going to go give you a shower.
Right. So they know how to talk to the patient.
Exactly. Yes. So that idea came from that.
Great. Well, thank you, Sidney, and thank you for your background on here.
Thank you very much.
We're here at Aristocare at Cedar Oaks, and they're having a what would this be called? A grand opening or open house event? And you are.
My name is Rene Przansky. I am Chief Operating Officer here at Aristocare.
And can you tell us something about Aristocare and what you do for the community?
Well, Aristocare owns 5 subacute and long-term care facilities, and we have unique niche programs in each one. And basically, it's a unique approach to rehabilitation. We have stroke programs, we have cardiac programs, we have pulmonary programs, and all of it is multidisciplinary and just involves a lot more than just the physical aspects of it.
And what is your specialty program?
So the specialty program at Aristocare at Cedar Oaks is stroke. We have an intensive stroke rehabilitation program here.
And can you tell me something about this program?
Sure. So the stroke program at Aristocare at Cedar Oaks is unique for several reasons. One of them is that we're CARF accredited. It's a special accreditation for rehab facilities. It's a very difficult to obtain, prestigious type of licensure that usually they award to only specialty acute settings, hospital settings and hospital rehabs. And we went through their rigorous process and we got CARF accreditation, not just for our rehab, but also for our stroke program. So it means that our standards are on hospital level. The other thing about our program is that we approach it in a multidisciplinary way. So we're taking care of the physical aspects of the patient. We're teaching them new life skills, new ways of coping with their newfound disabilities, which is often difficult. We also have a very strong cognitive program because it's so important for them to regain as much normalcy as possible so that they don't feel so trapped. When you have a stroke, there are so many limitations that you find yourself going through physically, but mentally, you're still a person and you've got to learn to express yourself, and you really have to nourish the patient's spirit and teach them communication and how to eat right and how to cope with the stress. So there's so many different angles that we're hitting it from, and every department here has their unique program, and putting it all together becomes that multidisciplinary program.
So is it primarily rehabilitation, or is there any long-term facility care here offered?
Well, we have different programs, and our subacute program is what it's called. It's short-term rehabilitation. So a lot of our stroke cases and orthopedic cases come here. We have state-of-the-art equipment that you will not even find at many of the acute hospitals in the area. So that's really one of our proudest thing, is that we do a lot of research and we bring in the latest technology for everything. So for our stroke programs and our orthopedic patients, we have them on a short-term level, and if people need long-term care, we do that as well, and they do have the availability of the equipment as well, including the pool and some of our other wonderful resources.
Well, that's great. And this open house event, this is like a reopening of the facility or a rejuvenation of the facility?
Well, basically it's a culmination of all of our programs. We've got the clinical programs that we put together, and we put in a few $1 million renovating the place physically. So this was our kickoff to introduce ourselves and our services to the community.
Well, great. Thank you so much, and we appreciate your business.
Thank you.
I'm here with the administrator. Your name?
Stephen Isaac.
And can you tell us a little bit about your background here at Cedar Oaks?
Sure, I've only been at Cedar Oaks now for approximately 6 weeks, but I've been with Aristocare for 7 years. Since December 2003, I worked at the Plainfield facility, Aristocare at Norwood Terrace. I trained under our CEO, Mr. Sidney Greenberger. I was his assistant administrator for a year and a half before I got my license, and then I was the administrator there for 5 years before moving over here.
And what's the difference between the facilities in that location and here?
It's first of all, Norwood is only 120 beds. Cedar Oaks is 230. So right there is it's a whole different world, dealing with double the number of families, double the number of staff. We have a specialized stroke program here, which is a phenomenal program just to view as an outsider, coming in and seeing the miracles that they work. Is walking in day one and seeing what some of the patients who I knew for a long time, what they accomplished here was just amazing.
Well, I have to tell you, I haven't taken the tour yet, but this is a beautiful facility. Everything is so clean and cheerful, and I'm looking forward to the tour.
Good. I look forward to giving it to you. There have been a lot of renovations here and a lot of remodeling, and I haven't been here in a couple of years, and before I started, and the difference is amazing.
Well, I haven't seen the before, but I see the after, and it's amazing. Thanks for having us.
No problem. Thanks for coming.
I'm here with Tina at Aristocare of Cedar Oaks. Tina, can you tell me something about what you do here?
I'm the clinical administrator, and what that means is that I am the second highest position in the building. I'm also a nurse, so I oversee the nursing department and actually all the other departments.
Oh, how long have you been here?
I've been here for 15 years, but my longevity is not unique to this facility. Most of the staff have been here a very long time.
So there must be a great camaraderie with the staff here.
The camaraderie is incredible. We are really a family, and that delivers into the patient care. everybody knows everybody and their families, and everybody enjoys learning everything about the patients, and the patients love learning about the staff.
Can you tell me a little something about the facility, about the background?
The facility's been here for 26 years, and it was independently owned prior to March of 2007 when we were bought by Aristocare. At that time, lots of renovations and great innovations came into the building. We were a long-term care and a subacute facility at that time, but now we are able to enjoy state-of-the-art equipment, and which really benefits the patients.
That's great. Thank you so much, Tina. I have here Janine, and you are the dietitian here at Cedar Oaks.
At Cedar Oaks, yes.
And can you tell me something about the care for a stroke patient, their dietary needs, how you would put that together, the program for them?
Okay, in general, they found that a diet that's similar to a cardiac diet is helpful for stroke. So low fat, low salt tends to prevent future strokes. We do have a program here. It's a 4-week cycle where once a week I get together with any of the stroke patients and we'll go over different components of their diet needs. Things like how their diet might change. Sometimes when a person has a stroke, they may not be able to chew properly. They may not be able to swallow properly. These things have to be adjusted, and we'll work with the speech therapist and determine what's the best thing for them when initially, and then in the future sometimes they can be advanced, but sometimes they might need thick liquids, they might need chopped foods, pureed foods at first, but we're always working towards upgrading them. So we discuss that, we discuss how to choose low-fat foods, how to choose low-salt foods, how to go out to dinner, what kind of things are the safer things to choose. And
So the diet is streamlined per patient.
it's streamlined per patient. In general, like I said, it would be a lower salt, lower fat, but in addition, any other dietary needs that they would have. If they're diabetic, we would add the diabetic component. If they need, puree diet, it's adjusted according to the patient for exactly what they need.
That's great. And how long have you been here?
I've been here almost a year. I've been working in the Aristocare buildings for about 3 years now.
Great. Thank you so much.